You're listening to WCRX-lp, Columbus, Ohio, 102.1 FM, the broadcast radio service of Bexley Public Radio Foundation.
And now the Joe Contino Show on Bexley Public Radio.
We are going to be talking about, welcome to the Joe Contino Show, first and foremost. We're talking about a balanced life today. Now, what are the things that are or go into a balanced life? Dave, do you know? I kind of gave you a hint earlier. First we have, I'll say them first, and then we'll talk about a little bit of each point. Balanced life, and this, you're probably wondering and scratching your head why I would be talking about such a topic. But this week, of course, Dave, is Thanksgiving. Right. And health, family, religion, career, community service, sports, and art. So health, family, religion, career, community service, sports, and art. And that those are in order of importance, but no one item should overpower another one. And that's the key to a balanced life. So, for instance, health. You know, keeping fit is, of course, it's easier said than done. Yeah. Eating in moderation and in balance. Choosing to drink your calories instead of eating them is never good. And you know, a lot of people do that.
Right.
Not only with Coca-Cola and the soda drinks that are prominent in this country, but of course with the ever so popular alcoholic beverages, also kill this step to a balanced life.
Right.
Key to moderate consumption is linked to the activity you happen to be involved in. Make your activity your passion. Or, like the ever popular TV show Biggest Loser, will turn out to mean more than just losing weight.
Right.
It'll mean you yourself. Today on the show, we're going to continue to talk about it. How do you have a balanced life as you're giving thanks for having a life at all this Thanksgiving week? 12:15, we have Sal calling in. Sal Leonetti calling in at 12:15. We got Steve the Mule Nevelos, our Cleveland sports insider. He'll be on at 12:31. And then we have Lance Kolstedt, our Cincinnati sports insider. I'm sure he's going to have a lot to tell us. And I could tell you right now, his life is not balanced based on how the Bengals performed Sunday. And then closing out the show, our producer, Joe Contino, will be calling in, and we'll be talking about, for 5 minutes, about what a balanced life is and what it means to him. Moving on, David. Mm-hmm. Family is also very important. That's the number 2 step in a balanced life. Now, what do you mean by family? Well, commitment and discipline are factors to a good family unit. Today we see shows like on TV, like this Modern Family TV show. Dave, you seen that? A show which brings the funny nature to our pursuit of a today family unit, which is very, very different than a family unit was about 50 years ago. Nonetheless, it's a unit. You know, what actually makes a family? Now, this is up for debate. Dave, what do you think? I mean, as a Christian, I would say what makes up a healthy family, man, woman, child. But modern family, as the show says, that has changed quite a bit. So 2 loving parents,
exactly,
and a child would be a family unit.
Exactly. Yeah.
A family unit is a place where children have, the shelter that is needed, the basic needs for life: shelter, sustenance, love, and care. And they're able to. I mean, this constant circle of life is just that. Those of us that are in our late 30s to early 40s or in our midlife, and we think, what is this all about? What are we here for? And when you really think about it, it's that. Right?
Right.
We're here for kids.
Right.
You know, we're here to extend or have the we're human beings, and we're here to extend and make sure that the human cycle doesn't end. So where does that start? That's children, teaching them to grow into our modern society. That's what it's all about. Everything else is kind of a means to an end. There's the start of life. There's, being a child, being taught the ways of being a human. There's actually being in the race itself, raising a family, having a job, contributing to society. And then there's the end. There's retirement and enjoying what you have accomplished throughout your life. But all of that is for naught without a good foundation, and that's teaching children. That's my opinion.
Exactly. Circle of life.
Number 3 is also could be up for debate. We have religion in this balance of life. Some people think it needs to be a little further down the list. With some people, with some cultures, with some societies, we see how this step in the balance of life can be more of a weight than a guidance if it is looked upon as your only guide. Just our current events show that, right? Our enemy, the main enemy to this country right now is Al-Qaeda, which it's pretty evident that their main focus is a religious focus. And you see how religion can do so much good, but it almost seems like it can do almost as much bad.
Right.
So having religion as your only focus, and I'm not saying, I'm trying to separate it here. A faith belief system and a religion are two separate things. Exactly. Having a relationship with God and parlaying that into a particular religion are two separate things. I'm talking about religion, not faith. Religion can really, really be a bad influence on many people. You see in the 90s the Branch Davidian complex and the Branch Davidian group down in Waco, Texas. So it's not just the Muslim-oriented religions that are bad. They have the potential to be very charismatic, very manipulative, and a lot of bad things can come from that. But on the same token, like I just mentioned, they can also be very positive. But both sides of the scale can be, are just a recipe for disaster. There's so much emotion that goes into this topic that sometimes people without faith can think nothing good can come from it. And as a man of faith, you can almost it's hard to argue with them.
Right.
When you see some of the things that are motivated by religion in our modern society, it's hard to argue with the non-faith when it comes to that. And there's our producer put here. There's an example. Bishops were right to oppose Obama on health care. Just attacking this issue makes them wrong. Any attempt by religion to influence political change or direction should be seriously challenged and cautioned against. Do not look to religion beyond the spirituality of it. Virtue and the divine are for the next life. Common sense and good judgment are superior in this life. Again, that does not denounce faith. That denounce any particular religion. And I would have to agree with John here. This specifically speaking, goes directly against, the separation of church and state. The church should have no influence on lawmaking whatsoever. What do you think about that, Dave?
I think it's a good idea. That is a good idea.
If that starts to occur, you're down that slippery slope. You're at a point where you open yourself up to the possibility of living in a state like Iran is.
Yeah.
Iran is completely controlled by their religion.
Right.
And there are many other examples. Just because it isn't your particular religion does not make it wrong for just based on that. I mean, I could, I mean, I could imagine a country that was just as misguided, that was based in Christian beliefs,
Right.
or Judaism. Having it be your only guide is very dangerous. The Bible was inspired by God, written by man. The Quran could be argued to be the same thing. But I need to highlight and underline, written by man. Humans are fallible beings. I got into a discussion yesterday, Dave, the church I go to. We were talking about how non-believers and people not of faith look at the things that happen around them and point fingers at Christians and or Jews or any other denomination of faith and say, see, that doesn't make any sense. You say you go to church. I particularly go to church because I am a fallible being. I mean, pointing fingers at Christians or any other denomination makes no sense. The only thing that going to church does is that it's me raising my hand way up high saying, I admit I am wrong. I admit I'm a sinner. I admit I am unperfect. That's all that says. Going to church doesn't make some grandiose exclamation that you are perfect. Now, there are some churches that do have that attitude. I've been to a couple. Yeah. But I think the church I go to now it has it right. If you're going to church, you're going down and you're conceding to the fact that you're not it. You're conceding to the fact that you are imperfect. That's how I view church. And I think, especially the mass media and your average person of no faith has it completely wrong. Would you not agree with that, Dave?
Yeah, it's.
I mean, going to church important. Is just surrendering that you're not it.
It's all about humility,
Yeah, it's all. Yeah, you're right. It's all about humility.
Yeah.
Next, in the balance of life, we have career. Now, this one's an easy one to decipher on how this could throw the balance of your life completely off. I mean, how many people do you know, or how many people listening to this very broadcast, that put their career in front of the very three things that are the first three items on this list?
Right.
How many people put their career before their health? I mean, how many people do you know get so stressed out at work it affects their health?
Oh, yeah.
Overwork, overstress causes many health problems. Right. How many people put their career before their family?
Yeah.
You know who you are out there.
Yep.
I can be guilty of this myself. I mean, there are times I've put my career in front of my family, and then you have to take a step back and go, whoa, what is more important? What is more important? Religion, number 3. How many people put career in front of their faith or in front of their very religion? Now, talking about religion and how it intertwines with the balance of life, I'm not saying do away with religion. I'm saying that it serves a purpose, but you have to keep it in balance. And in doing so, if your career takes precedence over any of those 3, or any of the bottom, community service, sports, or art, your balance in your life is going to be way off. Mm-hmm. A solid pursuit to keeping family and health in check is a good career. Goals are positive, and pursuit towards any goal will bring positive results. Stay away from sounding like a self-help guru. That's probably Sal. Let's get him on the line. Hey, Sal.
How you doing, Joe? How's it going?
Hey, how you doing? What's going on?
Well, I guess this is Black Monday after yesterday for both of us.
Yeah, what happened to your Giants last night?
Bumbling, tumbling, whatever you want to call it. They look terrible. And you know what?
And now the Joe Contino Show on Bexley Public Radio.